Back in 1998, when Nuestra Palabra was getting started, I was a student at Houston Community College. And I was working on my associate's degree. And the one thing I remember about living there was I drove this two-tone Blazer. It was like blue and gray. And it was passed to me from my father. And this thing was already old and it's on its last legs. But it ran. And it had problems, and the main problem was if I took a quick left, it would turn off. And then it would take me sometimes hours to get it started again. And being a college student, I didn't have the money to fix it. So I figured another solution. I figured if I had to take a left, I would just drive past that street and make 3 rights. That's how I did it. And so I remember one time I was at school and I was getting ready to, get in my truck, and I saw on the wall this sheet that said, "Come audition for the Wheel of Fortune." And the first thing I thought was, that show's still on? And I was like, man, I remember watching that when I was like 7 or 8 years old. The game where you pick the letters and you solve the puzzle. And, Pat Sajak and Vanna White, I remember that. And I started thinking, I was like, typically, like for somebody like me, if I see something like that, I don't go. But I think it was because I was involved with Nuestra Palabra, I was this beginning writer and wanting to tell stories, I figured, you know what? Well, what if I go and I meet Pat Sajak and Vanna White? That would be a cool story to tell, right? And so that's the reason why I went to go audition. And so I show up, and the auditions are at HCC, the Northline campus. And I show up, no Pat, no Vanna, but there's this line of college students spinning this wheel. And so I figured, you know what, I'm there, might as well spin the wheel. So I spin the wheel, and it lands on Wheel of Fortune t-shirt. And I was like, okay, well, at least I got a t-shirt. And so I go to collect the t-shirt, and I said, okay, so when are we going to audition? And they were like, well, that was your audition. It's like, okay, well, what's next? They were like, well, we're going to audition 1,200 other college students, and then a select few, about 120, we're going to call to come to be a part of the next process. And when I heard that word select few, that's like when somebody says, you're going to win the lottery, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. So I forgot about it. Well, a couple months later, I get a phone call. Hello, is this Alvaro Rios? Yes, that's him. How would you like to audition for the Wheel of Fortune? Well, I did audition for the Wheel of Fortune. No, but we know you auditioned. But you are the select few. You are the one of the 120 who we are calling to audition at a hotel in downtown Houston. So I said yes. But the only reason why I said yes was because maybe I would finally get to see Pat and Vanna, right? So I show up, and I show up after getting in my truck, and I decide I have to leave 2 hours early, just in case. I have to make that left, and I don't want to lose that opportunity of being able to miss Pat and Vanna. See Pat and Vanna. And I get there, no Pat and Vanna. And we're all in a room, and we have to audition. And auditions consist of them spinning a wheel, and they stop it, and then they call on you. We're all sitting in chairs, and we stand up. You have to say your name, and you have to say something interesting about yourself. So it comes to me. Hi, my name is Alvaro Saar Rios. And I joined the Army to see the world, and they stationed me 3 hours away from home. Can I get an L? And I didn't get the L. And so the next time it comes around, hi, my name is Alvaro Saar Rios, and I thought I wanted to be a doctor. But this writing thing seems pretty interesting. Can I get a C? Still no letter. Each time it came to me, I could not pick one of those letters. I picked all the letters that if you've ever watched the show, R, S, T, L, and all the popular letters, the E, every popular letter I could think of. I didn't go for the letters nobody thinks of, Q and X. I didn't pick any of those. I wasn't that desperate. But I couldn't get anything. And so it was over, and they said, all right, in a few weeks, we're going to call 12 of you to be contestants and wait for our phone call because you just might be the one. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, there's no way. There's no way. I couldn't solve any of those puzzles. There was no way I could be able to do this. So I'm at home, a couple weeks later, I'm at home doing my homework. Phone rings. Hi, is this Alvaro? Yeah, it's him. How would you like to be a contestant on the Wheel of Fortune? And I say what anybody should say when asked that question. Is Pat and Vanna going to be there? Yes, Pat and Vanna's going to be there. Okay, I'll be a contestant. And so I start contemplating. I have to be there at 8 in the morning, right down the street at the George R. Brown Convention Center. I have to be there, and I'm contemplating, well, maybe I got to leave 3 hours early to make sure my truck doesn't shut off, you know? But I finally came to some sense, and I just had my parents drop me off. And when I get there, they put you in a room, and you're there in a room with all the rest of the contestants, and you're like this sequestered jury. And if you need to go to the bathroom, everybody goes to the bathroom. And when it's time to eat, because you've been there since 8, and I think we were not going to tape till like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And so when it's time to eat lunch, everybody eats lunch, and you don't get to eat lunch by yourself. You got to all eat together. Basically, the idea being that they want to make sure that nobody has proof or saying that, you know, that somebody cheated. Like, oh, he went to the bathroom 37 times. Somebody must have given him the answers. So they wanted to make sure that, so yeah, we're all sequestered. And also part of that process is they have this question and answer session where they basically tell you can ask any question that you want about the show or whatever. So some people ask questions like, they ask, oh, so if I win, when do I get paid? Well, it takes them they can take up to 120 days to pay you. And so it comes to my turn and I ask my question, are we going to beat Pat and Vanna? Like, are they going to come out and like hang out with us before the show starts? The only time you get to hang out or meet Pat and Vanna, meet both of them, is when you win the show. You know, if you've ever seen the show and the credits are rolling and there's that person waving like that and Vanna White standing right there, Pat Sajak standing right there, that's the first time they got to meet both of them. So I say, okay, well, if I got to win, that's what I'll do. Yeah, right. So it's my turn to play, and I'm playing against this guy from the University of Rice. Strange name for a university. And Florida State. And then there's me. And the first puzzle, I can't get anything. I can't pick a word, a letter. I don't know what those phrases are, so I lose. Second puzzle, same thing. I lose. Third puzzle, I get one letter, but I still lose. Fourth puzzle, I lose again. Fifth puzzle. You ever watch the show and there's that one dummy? That's me. And that's what I'm thinking. I came here to go, I just wanted to meet Pat and Vanna. That's all I wanted to do. I came, but I'm that dummy. I'm that guy, and I can't even win $1? So luckily we have time for one more puzzle. But time has run out. So if you ever know the game, what Pat does is he spins the wheel, and whatever amount of money it stops on, that's how much consonants are going to be worth. It stops on $5,000. And I start thinking in my head, how many letters do I need to get to win? All I need is 3. All I need is 3. So the guy from Rice picks a letter, can't solve the puzzle. Florida State picks a letter, says some phrase, can't solve the puzzle. Alvaro, do you have a letter? Yeah, can I get an L? You have 3 L's, $15,000. Can you solve the puzzle? And my mind just turns into pudding. I don't know what that phrase is. I don't care. And now you're telling me I'm going to walk away with $15,000 if I could figure it out? Nothing. And I'm just thinking, man, you know, my friends are going to make fun of me. When this show comes out, they're going to be like, you didn't get to meet Pat. You didn't get to meet Vanna. You didn't win any money. And that's all I'm thinking. But the game is still going. So the guy, the rice guy, Mr. Arroz, he picks another letter. Still can't figure it out. Girl from Florida State picks another letter, says a phrase, and it's wrong. Alvaro, do you have a letter? Still don't know what the hell to say. And so I decided to do what I haven't been doing. I pick one of those letters, because I'm desperate now. I'm like, I don't know, maybe one of the, I pick one of those letters that nobody picks. Can I get a W? There are 2 W's. You have $25,000 if you can solve the puzzle. It totally blew me away. That was the winning phrase. It totally blew me away. It is. 3 L's, 2 W's, and I said it. But I didn't say it. I yelled it like I had drank 25 beers. And it totally blew me away! And I won. And I was screaming, and I was crying, and I was jumping around. And I was so busy just doing my, like, woo, raising the roof with my people there. And I totally forgot, there's a bonus round. There's still a bonus round. And so I got to get ready for that. And as I'm getting ready for the bonus round, they tell me what I'm playing for. A Camaro. So just the idea of thinking that I never have to make 3 rights in my life, I get so excited and full of so much anxiety, I can't even solve that puzzle. So I lose the car. I lose that puzzle. But I did win the show. And those credits come on. And I'm waving. Vanna White, right here. Pat Sajak, right here. The first celebrities. This little brown Latino boy who'd been watching Wheel of Fortune since he was a kid and never got to see a Latino up there. And I got to do it. And when I talked to them, they were like regular people. Vanna was so nice, she reminded me of my mom. And Pat, he was in the Army just like I was, and that's what we talked about. And when people hear, or when they find out, because it always happens, people find out, oh, you're on the Wheel of Fortune. They always ask me 3 questions. Did you win any money? Yes. How much did you win? $25,000. What did you do with it? Well, in the 119 days it took them to finally send me my $25,000 check, I decided not to buy a new truck. I didn't even get my truck fixed. I decided to do something with that money that I hope that any beginning writer or any person who wanted to create something creative would do when given that opportunity. I used that money to go to places I could have never afford to have gone. Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, San Diego, Guadalajara, Mexico City, Colima, Madrid, Barcelona, just to name a few. Places that my truck would have never been able to take me to, no matter how many right turns I took. Thank you very much.